Hello. Welcome everyone to 2021 and the first Chat and Chill, the exclusive of the new year. My name is Tyra Martin. I am your host today. Welcome. Let's talk about some of the things that are on our minds right now, outside of all of the distractions in the world right now. People are in the second week, ideally, of what was their New Year's resolutions. This is the week when people tend to drop it, though. And so that's kind of what we're going to talk about. Two of the biggest ones, obviously, are fitness and finance. I think one of the things that people consider when they're doing making a resolution is that they either want to add something or lose something. So, for me this year, one of the things I want to add is I want to do more reading. I want to add more activities, just getting out and doing stuff. I think we missed a lot of that last year, and so I'm going to make an intentional effort to be outside when I can this year. One of the things I want to lose is some debt. I want to gain some savings. And so that's what our first guest is going to talk about. He's got great tips for all of us. Chi Cotton is the owner of Credit Professionals Incorporated, and he's going to join us right now.
How you guys doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right.
Welcome.
Oh, glad to be here today.
So let's before we get into the meat and potatoes of it, I'm hungry, and I'll talk to Iris about that later. We're going to talk about your story. Tell us who you are, Chi.
My name is Chi Cotton. I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago. Was born in a foster home. They raised me, took care of me like their own child. And I had a mother, she was addicted to drugs when I was young, from Philadelphia. She actually came here on a train and they found her. So I was taken into foster care when I was born. She did ask my mother to grant wishes, and the only wish was the name of Chi Cotton. So I carried that name, became successful, and I love that name to this day.
You know what, your story is one that's not uncommon, but it's one that people don't talk about.
Right.
Those kinds of circumstances where a family member or a foster family has taken a relative in. How did you keep those circumstances from preventing you to be successful?
It's motivation. I took those things, looked back at my past, where I came from, and just knew I didn't want to do those same things. I knew I wanted to be somebody great. And that name kind of carried me that I always felt special. Like, how did she come up with that name, Chi? It was like I was born to be great. So I'm living.
And tell everybody why, because we spoke the other day. Tell everybody why she chose Chi.
She chose, I personally think she chose Chi because I think now she'll be able to find me. After 30 years of not seeing me, I think now she can really look up the name Chi and be able to find me faster than any other name that was given.
Let's talk about money. What did you learn growing up from your foster family about money?
About money, or just in general?
Oh, well, if you got some nuggets of wisdom, please share. Don't sit on the golden egg.
My family always told me to budget. They never spent unnecessary money. They bought everything they needed. They did give us clothes, shelter, and food, but they never bought things that we didn't need. So they always had money saved, and we was always able to travel and do certain things in life that I seen others weren't able to do. So they did. The main thing they did teach me was to budget and control money, understand money.
And those are the foundations of the same information that you give clients and people that you work with, right?
The exact same information.
One of the first things that you talk about being important is understanding money. What does that mean?
You have to understand money. You have to know how much money you have coming in monthly. You have to know how much money is going out on bills and things that you need on a daily basis. People do not know. You can ask the individual, how much money do you have coming in monthly from work or et cetera. They can't tell you what's coming in. So how you know how many bills you can add to your monthly and day-to-day resume if you don't know how much money you got coming in on a monthly basis? So that's the start of bad habits and good habits. If you know what you got coming in monthly, you know you can't take that extra bill per month or it's gonna hurt you in the long run. That's where the struggle begins.
And see, the thing is, we all know this. Nobody doesn't know this. You know that if you have 3 apples and you try to eat the fourth apple, it does not exist. It's going to none of this is rocket science.
Right.
Why do people have such a hard time with it though?
It's temptation. I think it's just temptation. We all live in the now, so we want things now. We can't wait next month to buy our favorite coat or a pair of shoes or a car. We want it now. We want to look good now, and we want to shine now. So we're not taught to sacrifice in the beginning and shine later. We taught to get it now and to shine now. So a lot of times those decisions hurts us in the long run.
And those are one of the things you talk about, as well as kind of identifying the wants versus the needs, and where and how you spend your money. How do you identify a need versus a want?
Okay, prime example. If something you want, if you got a car outside that gets you to work, A and B. It might not look like the car your dream car, but it gets you to A and B. You don't have no problems of it. Then you have this other car that like, okay, you want it real bad. It costs more. You can get it, but in the long run, you're not thinking because you afford it in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
So you go get that car anyway. And now that's something you wanted and not nothing you need. You just add 2 things of a want instead of a need.
Let me ask you this. What do you need when it comes to credit and savings?
What do you need? Credit. To start off with credit, you need to identify what is your credit. You need to learn and understand and educate what is your credit, how to build your credit, and how to leverage your credit and maintain your credit. A lot of times in schools, we're not taught how to build credit. We're not even taught what credit is until you're older and you need to buy a home and a car. Now you want to scramble. I need credit. Somebody need to fix my credit. And you don't understand, you haven't even built credit over the years. So the first thing is you need to educate yourself, seek the knowledge of what is credit, get a mentor, get somebody that's professional, such as myself, that can educate you and teach you what is credit and how to maintain credit. Then you can go from there and start building credit.
And with savings, what do you recommend for savings? How do you spend? Let me ask you this. Let me put it this way. How do you spend your money? What percentage of what goes where?
First, I recognize, like I said, my budget for the month. So I know I have X amount of dollars coming in per month. I know my bills is X, Y, and Z. And I know from that, honestly, it might sound far-fetched, but I save 75% of the income that comes in. I know I have play money to the side. You're going to play. So I have a little stash that's called play money. So this play money can build up if I don't play. But if I don't have play money, I can't play.
How much of every paycheck or every month goes to play?
I say about 10%, like 10%.
Okay.
Real small. It's small, but it adds up.
That's because you can only play for a couple of minutes with 10%.
And that's the thing. You don't need to be
the street lights come on real quick with 10% of play money.
Yeah, 10%. But if you're not playing a lot, it adds up for the next time if you really want to do something.
Right.
So I do this to reward myself. I know I work hard. I know I want good things. So I have the play money to reward myself. So I know at the end of the month, okay, I can go buy these shoes or I can do this. But I do not go outside of my play money to dig in my savings to buy something I want. Right. I would just wait. And it's just discipline, financial discipline.
And for savings, how much do you commit?
Like I said, 75%. I save a lot. I save a lot monthly. Like I learned just in the long run, me growing up and seeing a lot of things and coming across like emergencies, just like the pandemic. A lot of people weren't ready for the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And by the grace of God, I was able to use some of my savings for things that I needed and I was already prepared for. So the thing is, if you prepare now, when the next pandemic or a big emergency hit, you don't have to worry or struggle because you're already financially prepared for this situation. And that's why I teach all my clients, prepare now. That way, when things come, you're not worried about it.
What do you consider prepared? How much should people have saved for an emergency at the lowest level?
They always talk 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
6 months worth of emergency funds to cover all your bills, your mortgage, your car notes, phone bills, and your monthly expenses. I do teach 6 months, but I do want you to go out and think far-fetched of a year because a lot of things can't happen. You're not going to start off as a year. You start off month to month. So when you know you got the first month, prepare for emergencies, you work on your second month, you work on your third month. And as you grow, you'll look up like, I got a month, I got a whole year of emergency funds saved. Now you just keep going. Now I got 2 years of emergency funds saved. You always live below your means, not over your means. If you live over your means, you won't have the money that you need.
Right.
And that's our biggest problem, live beyond our means.
You talk about one of the things that you want folks to get educated about is investing.
Yeah. A lot of times I do meet clients that have money sitting in their savings, $5,000, $10,000 that's sitting that's not growing, not making no interest, anything like that. I just teach my clients study stocks, study companies that can grow your money. And it's best to have your money sitting in a stock or different things that can grow your money in time. When you look up 5 years, that same 5,000 you had can be 20,000 or it could be 25,000. So your money works for you. A lot of times, like I say, they want us to go work an 8-hour job and we working for our money, but nothing else that's working for you. You have to have something that's building as well. Work your job, but still have something that's building towards your financial goals in the long run, so you'll be better off.
But how do people choose that? The majority of I know it's, you can go online and find all these little programs and there's investment clubs and things like that. But the reality is that most people have never invested, don't really know what that means. Where do you find information that's credible?
First, you do have to study. You do have to read and research. The internet is the biggest thing. Google, YouTube. It's a lot of people that's out here really helping and teaching. I started with YouTube, so I know this is true. A lot of things that I didn't know, I learned, I read, and then I went to YouTube for different help. And then I found different mentors that can push me in the right way that I trusted and guided me through all the steps that I knew I was weak in. So I did find out through those mentors and through my own personal research that stocks and real estate is the biggest way to become successful with investing. So I want to follow what people do to be rich. So those are some of the tips that I know like rich people do. Have stocks, they invest in stocks and invest in real estate.
What books do you recommend? If there was one book that you were going to send somebody to the bookstore to get them kind of on the right track to being able to work with you in a way where they are informed walking into the situation or by themselves?
It's called Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. That was one of my first top books that I read that really kind of changed my life. It's not a book that a lot of people speak on because I know a lot of people prefer the Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is a very great beginner's book. But I think Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, will really take your mental state out the regular element of a box that we was trained to be in.
And what is that thinking? What's the nugget that's in that book?
It's teaching you to think outside the box, to create wealth, and don't look at money the way we was trained to look at money. You have to create value. When you create value within yourself, you create money. Anything you do in life that one creates money, do it with a passion and you create wealth. A lot of times we just go to school, we get a job. I'm just working a job you don't like. You ain't creating no value up. When you become valuable, money will chase you. Money will really create money out of thin air because you are valuable and people need you and they need your services.
And that's not out of step with biblical teaching either. Where your money is, where your passion is, they're hard to do all things as unto the Lord.
Now you're doing things that you want to do. You're not doing things just for a paycheck. When I pay people credit, I'm not looking to get paid. I'm looking for you to create and I'm looking at you create and fulfill your dreams on what you really want to do in life. And once you show me, like, Mr. Cotton, I got this house over here. Mr. Cotton, I got this car I really want, or I started this business. Thank you for helping me. Now, that's my passion. I love that. That's what I'm here on the earth to do, and I see it on a daily basis. So it drives me even more to help clients and change their mental state, the way they think and the way they invest money, the way they feel about money. It's still how you feel creates money at the same time. Your positive vibes create positive energy.
We're getting some questions down at the bottom, and then for folks that are watching at home, we'll have everybody back at the end of the show if you'd like to ask more questions. But one that's being asked is, what's a good amount to start investing? Is there too much or too little?
No, you can start with $100. It's not even a lot. Actually, I'm gonna give you a tip. You can download the Stash app. It's called Stash. Then they can take $5 every 2 weeks out of your account and they invest in stocks just for a little bit of $5. So don't start with big money. You can start little and build your way up to bigger investments.
What kind of stocks should people look at?
I mean, now that's a good question. You have to do your research. Um, I got a stock in technology stock. That's the wave of 2021. Everything is going technology wise. Right now, the biggest stock that started off low, that's steady building is Tesla. That's one stock that started, I think when I got in at 200 some dollars, now it's at $800. So the money does grow. So the main thing is you definitely have to do your research, look at what's trending, look up what's up and coming, and then you'll know what's investing.
That's great. That's great information. If someone is looking for someone to clean up their credit, online and certainly on social media, you see all of these. You know where I'm headed. So how do you discern the credibility of a credit cleaning business?
First you got to see if they're just out to take your money. And you can get the vibe when you call and set up a consultation. Will they educate you or will they just fix your credit and get you out the way? My company is big on educating. I want you to understand why you're fixing your credit, how long the process is going to take, how to maintain it, and how to build it. Those are the main keys that I want you to lead with, and you can always come back and call like, hey, Mr. Khan, I got this going on, that's going on, because you need that proper education. We're not taught that. And a lot of these companies doesn't teach you the education part. They'll fix your credit. Now you're in the world with good credit and loss and don't know the next steps to take.
To circle right back around.
Circle right back around. Come right back.
If for folks watching or when they see this, the stream will live online. If they want to start getting themselves on a road to get out of debt or meet some financial goals, February is coming up.
Correct.
This month, not to say blow off the next 2 weeks, but people like to start on a day one.
Correct.
February 1st. Give me 3 things that someone can do to put them on the right track for the rest of the year?
Have a monthly budget, save, and invest. Those 3 things right there will start your year off perfectly right. Put priorities first. I don't care how you feel. Take away your emotions and everything. Put your priorities first. Take care of your business. Have these 3 goals, and I can guarantee you'll be on the road to success. Priorities is everything.
That's great. Let me ask you this. So when you play, what is your guilty pleasure? Where does the money go, Chi-Chi?
I travel a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think the real money does go to travel. And the kids also, but traveling and the kids, that's it.
But that's good. If the money is to play.
Yeah, it's to play.
Right. The play on a player, as they say. Yeah. Where can people find you online?
Facebook is Chi Cotton, CHI, last name Cotton. IG is Credit Professional Info. And I have a website, creditprofessional609.com. Creditprofessional609.com.
That's great. Thank you. We'll catch up with you in a few minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
So we've gotten our money straight-ish. And where you may want to add some curves is your fitness. Our next guest is Iris T. London. She's a very good friend of mine. She has been keeping folks in and around Chicago and certainly at Life Changers International Church moving through her fitness efforts. She's kept us in worship with her beautiful voice, which I don't know if everyone knows that, what a beautiful voice Iris has, for the folks that just know her from the fitness side of her business. But she is 100%, 110% all the time, even when she doesn't feel like it. And she's going to bring that same energy to us today, right now. Iris, hello.
Hi, Tyra. I love you.
Hi.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to
I'm
see
good.
you. Awesome.
I miss being in a room with you.
I know. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I'm so ready for all of this to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about your story. Who is Iris?
Oh, Iris T. London. Wow. Well, I am, my background is dance. So I spent many years in dance and different things like that. So I'm just this free spirited girl who loves God, who's gone through different things because I was a hot mess. Yeah, I used to dance for R. Kelly and all that foolishness stuff that went on. But
Everybody's got a story.
he grabbed a hold of me, y'all. Okay. He grabbed a hold of me and set me on the right path. So, through there he went from the worldly dance into liturgical dance, and then from there, this the worship and fitness thing just kind of went on from the dance. So dance was definitely the foundation of everything with me. So yeah.
When did you decide? Because to be a dancer, a proper dancer, it requires incredible physical discipline.
Yes, it does.
There's a difference between the person who's kind of
right,
the fun girl at the party and a dancer.
Absolutely.
Right. Absolutely. So you've had to be in control of your body.
Yep.
For a very long time.
Yep. And didn't realize that that dance is the foundation. I believe that God is always purposeful in everything he does. And that was the foundation to set me up to where he has me now. I didn't know it then, but now I'm seeing the manifestation of it. So
talk about the decision to become a professional fitness trainer.
Wow. So how that happened was my business partner and I at the time, we were looking for a new space to hold our performing arts school, because we had a performing arts school for 15 years that we traveled all over the world. So for years, that's what I did. And then we were looking for another space and ended up looking at a spot next to a storefront gym. And then we were like, well, let's go in and check this place out so we could see what it looks like, the size space that we were looking for. Mm-hmm. So it was a Black-owned gym. Shout out to Lynette Miller at Be Fit. And so when we came in and talked to her about what we were doing, she said, well, you all want to run your program here? And we were like, why not? So we partnered with her. So we're coming in on the dance side, but she was doing the fitness side and some of the other trainers there. So as I sat there and watched, I'm like, this is what I've been doing for years, training bodies.
Right.
So when that season of working with the kids, because the kids today are now different, I knew it was coming to an end. I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep working with the children right now. And then I just started going to get certified as a personal trainer. First it was a Zumba instructor, then personal training, then spin instructor. And it just kept going on and on and on. And it just caught fire and never stopped.
That's awesome. Why do people drop resolutions? Because we start out the year with a bang.
Yeah.
The gyms are packed. Well, in pre-COVID times.
Yeah, right.
Packed.
Yeah.
Packed. And then something about either interest or ability or information, I think, causes that excitement to wane. What is that, and how do you fight that?
So the way that I help people fight that, see, this resolution thing, it's something that people go on and off of. And as you said, it's so short-lived. By the 15th, everybody that was filling up the gym or taking classes, they're out now. So the thing is, I tell people to start with their 3 W's. The first W is, according to, for what you need for your physical man, what is your why? What is your why? Why is it that physically you need to get your butt up and do something? What is your why? For some people, it may be, most of the people in my family had diabetes by this age, and I don't want that to be me. Your why could be, I want to live to see my children's children. Whatever your why is, that why is going to help you keep going even when you don't feel like it. Your why, like it could be, hey, I want to look good in the 2-piece swims. Whatever your why is, that why is going to be, because the fitness part, the physical part, it starts mentally. When you make up in your mind, you know what? I discovered that I want to be an entrepreneur, and it's about creating legacy. So I need to be healthy and live long. So if that's your why, you write that why down and put it in front of your face so you can see it every day. That's the first W. The second W is, what am I willing to do to reach that why? So if that's okay, I'm going to commit to 2 days a week, working out maybe 20 to 30 minutes a day. Don't sit up talking about you're going to work out 7 days a week, 3 hours a day. You're setting yourself up for failure. Stop it. You already know you're not going to, you're not even able to keep that commitment. So
Right.
don't do that, because then you're setting yourself up for failure. And as soon as you miss a day, you're beating yourself up there. I might as well go eat ice cream because, okay, no. So be realistic. If that looks like, hey, for 10 minutes, 3 days a week, I'm going, as soon as I get out of the bed, I'm going to put on my 3 songs with my best songs for my playlist, and I'm a power walk. Start right there.
Right.
Make your what you're going to do attainable.
Because 3 songs is what? Like 10, 15 minutes, 12, 15 minutes?
Yeah, it could be 12 to 15 minutes. Three of your favorite songs. I mean, come on, it's not hard. We make it hard because we're mentally, that's why I said that why is going to push you. When you write down that why and really come to the root of that why, don't just, oh, it's this. No, but really think about what your why is, because that's going to help you stay committed. Then, like I said, the second W, what are you willing to do? And the third W is who? Who's going to hold you accountable to do it? Who is going to hold you accountable? I told people all the time, if you have children and grandchildren and you tell them, you know what? I'm going to commit. Okay, I'm saying this to you because I want you all to help me stay accountable. If you tell them, those kids or grandkids or your nieces, your young nieces or nephews, like this is what I'm going to, and if you don't do it, those jokers are going to be like, well, I thought you said that you were going to. So you need to get people who are truly going to hold you to it. Don't get people, your girl or your guy, friend that'll be like, well, don't worry about it. Let's go eat. No. You need somebody who really wants to see you win, that's going to push you to be your greatest. So, yeah, those are the 3.
And at a deeper level than just aesthetic or some birthday party goal.
Yeah.
That's a great way.
No, it's so far beyond that, because what people do, I'll have people come have me train them or take my classes. I want to lose weight for this trip that I'm going on. Then you go on that, you reach your goal, and beyond the goal, you go on the trip, you come back, I don't see you for months. Then you come back to me out of shape again. Like, what you gonna do? No, I'm not gonna do anything because you should have stayed consistent. Like, no. So yeah.
What does realistic consistency, if we're talking about setting realistic goals that you can maintain, that won't, become the boogeyman.
Yeah.
What is a realistic commitment?
And that depends on the individual, because, it depends on what you're doing. If you're still, working a 9 to 5, or you're an entrepreneur, what does that look like for you? Because it could be different for everybody. And that, I'm glad you just said that, because please, people, don't compare your journey to someone else's journey. Just because Susie over here has an hour to work out, that's Susie. Realistically, if you may be married with kids, or your schedule may just not allow, so you have to do what you can do for you.
Right.
Stay committed to your journey. Stop comparing yourself to someone else's journey. Start where you can start and stay committed right there, and you'll see the results.
Because we know what happens when you compare.
Listen, hey.
You despair.
You despair when you it is not wise to compare yourself with others. Like the pastor said all the time, when you compare, you despair. Bottom line, like, stop it, please. Please.
So we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
Gyms are either closed or have very limited access. People with pre-existing conditions have concerns that may keep them out of those places where you would get a traditional workout. Folks are trying to do, there's a lot of opportunities online. We can talk about, I know you've got classes that you offer online as well, but what can people do at home? You don't need to be at the gym.
No, you don't.
What at home?
You don't need to be. All right. I'm going to get up for a second. So, okay. Now you all see this backdrop. See, people always think I'm in the gym. Guess where I am? In the living room. Hello. I'm in the living room. I bring people in like it's not hard, y'all. It's not hard. Okay.
It's setting the mood.
So
Setting the mood.
it's setting the mood. So these. All right. I literally look. You don't have to buy weights. These are 2 gallons water jugs, okay? And even when you drink it, guess what? You can keep filling it up. These are weights. I'm just gonna use a whole about. You got squats right here. Boom. What? With weights, like use what you have. Guess what? This chair right here, this little fold-up chair, okay? You could do ab work right from this chair. Boom. I mean, if you can't go to the floor, you can mountain climb from this chair. Guess what? You can fold this chair up and use it.
Wow.
Wait, come on. There's no excuses. If you have stairs in your house, this is my step board, but if you have stairs, you could turn sideways on that step, tap up and down. You could literally have a step class right there. Hop up and down. Like, look, use what you have. There's no excuses. Use what you have. Seriously.
And at this time when people are Netflixing, you can Netflix and sweat maybe as opposed to Netflix and chill.
Come on. Netflix and sweat. Or go ahead and get your workout in 15, 20 minutes, then chill.
Right.
You feel good about yourself. I've done something for me. Now I can sit down and chill. But do something.
Yeah. Talk about when people look at whole body fitness, part of it is the way you eat. You can't outrun a bad diet, I think is what people say. No. What are the tips for cutting down on excess?
Okay, so what I would say with that is stop depriving yourself. Let's start right there. Because see, these diets, once again, a diet is something you go on and off of, and most people don't stick to a diet. What I'll say is this. You know when you're eating wrong, lots of processed foods and different things. You already know it. So I don't even have to go, So what I would say to you is definitely add more vegetables. And it's so many vegan and healthy, options out here. You can Google it, you can look it up. And now so many restaurants, even though most of them are closed, but there's so many different options today that we have. And my thing is, when you want to have a burger, have it. But guess what? You know what you have to do.
You know what it costs.
Burn it off.
Right.
That's the thing. If you see, don't deprive, because listen, as Pastor said, God gave us food to enjoy. We have these us for a reason, but everything in moderation, you all. I'm not one of them trainers that's going to be fake, because at some point you're going to celebrate it. You're going to want it. You're just going to have a taste for some pizza. I don't know, but go ahead and have it. But you know what you have to do to burn it off.
What are some of those budgets? If we're going to budget some food, if you wanted to, like Chick-fil-A, there's a Chick-fil-A that just opened up in the city, like right in the middle of the city, not very far from here. I was like, how much is that Chick-fil-A sandwich and fries going to cost?
Ooh, oh. Okay, so basically, look, it's gonna cost. So my thing is, look, if that Chick-fil-A sandwich and fries, try to pull the bread off.
Yep.
Try to, you know what I mean? Just eat the meat part.
Want the bottom bun?
Say that again.
The bottom bun.
Okay, start with the bottom bun. You have to start somewhere. Okay,
I feel like that's fair.
Yeah, start with the bottom bun. Okay, for Tyra say we're going to start with the bottom bun, but that's my point. You're starting somewhere, and guess what? As you get consistent with doing that, eventually, and you incorporate your workout in, and you'll start seeing results. Then you won't want that top.
Right.
See, that's the thing. So when you start where you need to start, where you on your journey, when you start where you need to start and you're consistent with it, eventually that's going to turn into, you know what, I could do this, and then it keeps going, and it becomes a lifestyle, not a diet, not a New Year's resolution. No, a lifestyle. Healthy living is a lifestyle. When you think about it like that, then you're constantly on this journey of health and fitness, and you're training your children and everybody around you. When they see you living this healthy lifestyle, you inspire everybody around you to do it.
And that looks different for people wherever they are in their journey. There's, you know, people that are in like the fitness business and the, you know, where their goal is completely different.
Right.
From someone's goal who is coming from, you know, a medical crisis. Absolutely. Or an injury.
Yeah.
All the raggedy, broken things I've got, or, you know,
right.
Wherever people are, that goal looks different. So how do you encourage people to identify really what the heart of the goal should be?
Well, once again, it depends on each person. What is it that you're trying to do? For some people, just because some people may be thicker does not mean that they're not healthy. True. Because there's a such thing as skinny fat.
Right.
Just because a person is skinny don't mean that they're healthy. So, you know, it just depends on what it is that the individual wants to do. Some people just want to tone. They like their curves, but they just want them. So it just depends. Each person is there. Some people want the weight loss. So then that will be, so it's just one of those things. It depends on what you're looking to do.
Yeah. You talk about being fit for purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How does that apply to this?
Okay. So being fit for purpose, like I said, being in this time that we're in right now, so many people are now realizing that, oh, I have this gift, or they're starting businesses, and now you've had the time for God to really download that you like, yeah, you've been working for somebody else all this time, but I've created you for a purpose. So once again, when you start operating in that purpose, physically, what are you going to do? Like a lot of people, you know, we're on this platform. You have worship leaders out there. If you are overweight and out of shape and you're up there trying, listen, no, that's not okay for your heart. No. We have to take care of these temples. You know, as God created, your body is your temple. And for so many years, we go out to eat, especially growing up in the church. One of the main things we do.
Can't wait to get out of there and go get something.
I know, because I've been there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's 10:30 at night, and you know, people up at Denny's eating a steak.
Right.
So you're not going to burn that off, and you're going home to lay down. So it's like, you know, God has created us all for a divine purpose, and whatever like for me, I didn't know a part of it was health and fitness, but now it makes me laugh. I chuckle when people are responding on Life Changes page. They was like, wherever Iris is up there on that stage, it's always going to be worship and workout. Like they go together. They do. You know, worship and workout, it goes together. And even this fitness, everything I do is for God's glory. My purpose is to challenge, motivate, and inspire people to reach their goals, whether it's through fitness or worship. You know, what is that? If each person has a purpose, and you need to do what you need to physically,
right,
to be able to fulfill this thing, and you're creating legacy when you do this. So you're the standard for that. Why not do the health part with it too? Because it's necessary for you to have longevity, to really be the example for those who are coming up after you. It's so important.
Encourage folks who are having a hard time finding the beauty in where they are right now.
Wow.
So I feel like if you don't have a good foundation, like if it is a race, or a marathon, you can't take off if you don't feel like you've even got that much to run with. Encourage those people.
Listen, I know there's a lot going on. Some of you all have experienced things that most people can't even fathom. What I will say to you is the fact that you're still here in this moment, you're listening to Tyra and myself, you're here for a purpose. Yes, there's things that try to beat you up and smother who God has called you to be, but you already have on the inside of you everything that you need to move forward. It's not on the outside, so stop looking for it. Stop going on all these different platforms. No. You already have on the inside of you what you need and what's necessary for you to press through and to make it. So start taking the time to tap into who that is. Start asking God that question. God, why am I here? What is my why? What is my purpose? And don't overwhelm yourself trying to figure out. Trust me. Right. You'll be doing stuff, operating in what you think, you're normally doing, but he will literally show you. See, that's what I call, that's the gift. And he'll start opening things, and then you'll start realizing, like, oh my God, like all of this time I've been baking. I don't know, you may make cakes good. I don't know. But whatever you already have, you are such a gem. And you are so important to God, and you're still here for a purpose. So please know, look, don't allow what has happened to you to overshadow you and overtake you. You're here for a purpose because somebody needs to know your story and how you made it out. You are the key for somebody else to get out. So don't you stay in that place. Come on out of there because you already have what you need.
Yep, I love that butterfly metaphor. The caterpillar already has all of the butterfly stuff in it.
The wings are in there.
Yeah.
It's in there. The beauty is in there. That caterpillar is ugly.
Unfortunate looking.
Unfortunate.
And a little stodgy.
When that butterfly comes in that full blossom and shed all of that stuff listen, one of the most beautiful creatures that you could see is that butterfly, and that's who you are, man. You got it there already. Yeah.
Where can folks find you?
Well, you can go to my website at www.irislondon.com or on all social media platforms, Iris T. London. I would love for you to come on with this journey with me and just come, let's be friends and stuff.
And on your website, you've got opportunities to sign up for classes for at different levels.
Yeah, at different levels. I do a Fit Over 50 class, honey. They are cutting up. I have 80-year-olds who are showing out, baby, talking about they dating and everything since they've been working out. They something else. So don't get it twisted. Your grandmama might be out here,
Right. Purpose might be out the house.
I'm just saying.
Well, thank you. Let's bring everybody in. We've got Chi-Chi who's going to join us again to talk a little bit more about kind of getting everything going forward in the year, and the rest of our team, Mark and Reggie and Daria. Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
What's up? We normally don't come in. We normally come in afterwards with Tyra to kind of, give our little back end story of how everything went in with the show and a little recap. But I actually want, for the first show this year, I wanted the whole team to come in and just kind of recap together, because I believe that what we're talking about today is both areas a lot of us are dealing with. Everybody is dealing with, with this pandemic, with everybody being either unemployed, no employment, having having financial problems. And because of that, they're getting into a lot of debt. And of course, with this pandemic, for those of us who will not go out the house, right? Will not go out the house. I don't care what you say. Will not go out. Want to go past the street light at the corner. Only thing we want to do is sit in the house. And what happens is we start eating, and so it's a conference. So it becomes one of those type of situation where the eating part of it becomes pleasurable to us, because now that's our go-to. Because either we eating for depression, or we eating to make ourselves happy, or happiness is in eating. And so it's always some. And so then what we do is we had this with people saying, quarantine 15. I said, no, some of us got quarantine 25, 35. 55. And I was talking to my team last night, and I went to my closet, and something really strange happened. All my clothes had shrunk.
Look. The devil.
It's like, no, you gained. I didn't gain no weight. My clothes. There's a spirit in my closet, streaking my clothes. And I want that bad fell out of there. I'm rebuking it. Get that spirit out of my closet, streaking all my clothes. I know I ain't got nothing to do with my body. And I gained no weight. So because of that, though, we need to tie this in. And the one thing I know about Shishi, because I kind of met him in this atmosphere, he's also really heavy and big on fitness as well. I mean, I saw him and another guy working out. I said, I'm going to go the other direction. I don't even want them to think that I want to be a part of anything that they're doing. So I'm going to go this direction. It was comfortable for me, which is, 9 times out of 10 is walking around. We walk around the gym for like 15 minutes, get on the treadmill for like 5, and then we like, oh, it worked out.
But I think that's the importance of finding a space kind of between what Iris and Chi-Chi said. He talked about, finding mentors or models of behavior that you can follow. So I think maybe work out next to the person. I'll say this, when I was really working out like a crazy person, I would compete just mentally. Like I wasn't aggressive, but I would compete with people in the gym that I would see all the time. If that person was on the treadmill or whatever, I would try to keep their pace, as long as I could, or in a weightlifting class, I would see what people who had similar body shapes but were more physically fit, had a better endurance were lifting. I would try to keep up with them as much as I could, until it became like a thing where it's like, okay, I'm not there, but that is a goal. So there's a yin and yang to that.
Yeah. And I would say that would be more so a goal you're trying to emulate versus somebody you're comparing yourself to.
Right.
It's totally different. I was on a treadmill one day in the gym, and this guy, he came next to me, 6 feet apart, and running, really going really, really fast. I'm like, I'm not going to change my pace because you can't.
That's right.
And I don't know how long you've been doing it. I don't know what intensity level you have it on. So comparison kills. You have to definitely do what you can. But find some role models. That I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, because and I'll just jump in with that, because a lot of us really, on a serious note, we have that issue and that problem in the gym because we become intimidated.
Yep.
A lot of us look at it as a moral, but we become intimidated by the person that's beside us. And what happens is we start discouraging ourselves because we can't do what they're doing. And so we get really discouraged and say, well, forget it. This is just me. This is who I am. And so we have to find that level. You guys can talk to us about that, how really to find that even level to be inspired but not intimidated.
There you go.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
and once again, that goes back to that why.
Right.
Why are you in that gym? What is your why? Once you mentally get there, I may be inspired by this person. They may push me, but if you don't have someone there to help you properly and physically make sure your frame is right, and then you sit up trying to press what they pressing, and you're doing it improperly,
you gotta know your limit too.
Hurt yourself, and then you're gonna have to be out of the gym. So that's the thing. Stick to your why. Like, man, they inspire me, but I'm here because my goal is to do this or whatever, and I'm just gonna keep at it. But it starts mentally because, like you said, Mark, when you start comparing yourself or you're not clear on your why for being there, it's easy to talk yourself out of that thing. So once you get clear on that why, I don't care if Flojo and her mama can be on I'm going to keep it my bed because I know why I'm here. I know what I need to do. So that's, that's why I said that why is so important because it'll keep you going.
And I got one more statement. I'll turn it over to somebody else, and then a question at the same time. I was actually in the gym with this young man who was about the size, and no pun intended, of you, Iris. It was, a man that's like really skinny, right? And he was trying to bench press on his back. I believe he had to be about 600 or 800 pounds, and everybody kept going. It was like, you shouldn't be doing this, and they kept saying you should. People were like, you shouldn't do this, and literally he did it and broke both his knees. They literally had to call the ambulance because he couldn't move. So And again, he's in the surrounding where, you know, people like they lift him like this.
Yeah.
So he got intimidated. No, he got intimidated and said, well, if they can do it, I can do it, instead of knowing why he was particularly there. And all of a sudden, now they still walking around bench pressing 1,000. You're on your way to the emergency room.
Your knees broke. Now you really gonna be out of the gym.
Right. That's a long time coming back.
Because you don't know what form it takes. And the thing is, don't be intimidated. If you don't know, go to that person and ask them. Hey, I want to try to get to where you are. Like, what can you help me get there? But see, a lot of times we're intimidated to ask, especially I know with men. It's like, no, look.
I'm gonna figure this out myself.
I say that's manning up when you are man enough to ask a question. That's you manning up. I'm just saying, warming up. Hey, listen, man, I love your look. The way you look, that's my goal. Can you have? I'm new to this. Like, what are some pointers? Some people may help. Some people may be a butthole. But hey, at the end of the day, you don't have time to be walking in no pride. Like, somebody gonna be here that may help me.
Yeah, they're gonna
Women will do that. We will walk up to you and say, I like your whatever.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Yeah.
But you also understand that's a whole nother topic, a whole nother conversation, a whole nother show. Because women can do that. You all can physically embrace one another, and everything is fine and okay. But you let another man walk over like in the gym, be like, yo, bro, your body is tight.
Like
what you say? Hold on. I just want some tips. That's it.
Like, no,
calm down.
Like, look, I ain't on nothing. I'm just
that's it. I'm just trying to ask you how you got that way. But the women, they can do it all day long.
In the locker room.
You know, yes.
You'd be shocked the conversations, whole conversations people have in the locker room.
Excuse me, I was gonna say butt naked. Y'all be just fine. just out there, y'all fine. You ain't gonna do it in a minute like when they be okay. You only got 2 seconds to talk to me. and your ass baby right here. Y'all know me. I love to have fun, but it's the truth at the same time. But so as far as credit, so then lady, I know they probably have some of the questions. So I know a lot of people now that because of this pandemic, you know, it's just their credit scores went from 800 to about 300. Some you said 5, some at 3.
Yeah.
Because not so much of wrongful things that they've done. It's just because of the pandemic, just everything that's going on. So my question is, because I had this conversation and I talk to people all the time, is I tell them all the time, please don't judge a person where they are unless you know their backstory.
Right.
You got to know that story. Just because, and I stop judging people because, and I tell people not judge a person. I'm going back to weight because they 600 pounds because you think they ate themselves to that point. It could be a physical, it could be a mental. I mean, not a physical. It could be some health issue, a medical problem that got them to that place. So first, before you condemn it and start talking about it, find out what the reason is. And you know, the simple as that. Because, like you said, we have a lot of unhealthy, skinny people.
Yep.
Eat right. I mean, all day long, and then they try to figure out, well, how did I get this sick? And I've been doing this right because, again, it's just a person on their body, what case it be. But going back to the credit situation, what are some of the tips, or what are some of the avenues that we can go to, or people that can go to find out how now that my savings is depleted rather,
right?
My credit is bad, and so I hear everything that you're saying. Right. But honestly, at this place that I'm in right now, every penny, I would love to invest and I'd love to put it to the side, but I just on 198 a week, I just can't do it.
Right.
And everybody knows what 198 is. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
I think since the pandemic, a lot of individuals have to really start over. Start your financial plan over, start your financial goals over, and execute. A lot of people have maxed out credit cards, got debt, a lot of debt, maxed out their savings, the things of that nature. So when they come to me, it's like we starting over from scratch. It's okay. I mean, you know, everybody's going through it right now, but we have to now start at the point you are and what's the goals to get you to the next level that you're trying to get to. A lot of times I still tell them, like, if you can't pay the minimum balance on your credit cards that's still open, at least pay the minimum. If you cannot pay the minimum, give them a call. There's laws that pass that you can call them where they'll put your payments out 4 months, 5 months, car loans 4 and 5 months. And a lot of people haven't got this information, so they just letting their late payments build up, which is dropping their scores. You always can go back and say, due to the pandemic, could you please take this late payment off? They will do those things, but they need the proper education from people like myself that can tell them exactly how to do it, what to do, and where to send certain letters and things of that nature.
So what's the difference between you and a Chapter 7 and a Chapter 13? And the reason why I asked that question is because, again, you know, not putting nobody's business out there. I just know a certain person who talked to a lawyer about bankruptcy, right?
Right.
He said it's going to cost me $2,238. The person said, "Well, if I had that, I don't need to be
bills.
We got to put you on payment arrangement. I don't need a payment arrangement. I just told you if I can arrange to pay you for that and pay you off, then I can do that on my credit card, on my bank. I'm telling you." So what's the difference between you and those type of, you know?
Me personally and my company, we can save you. So I try to save clients for having to file bankruptcy, Chapter 7 and Chapter 13. Now, the Chapter 7 will wipe away all your debt, but you really don't want to do that because it hinders you in the long run. So it's certain things that you want to accomplish in life. It can be good and bad. If you got time, 2 years, 3 years to wait, then okay, and you're back against the wall where they garnishing your check, you have no money coming in to pay your car notes or your bills, then a Chapter 7 would be a good deed. But sometimes clients that come to me, they don't even have a lot of credit. They don't even have a lot of debt, but they don't know credit, so they don't know they can just get these things deleted, start over, and start building their credit without filing Chapter 7 or Chapter 13. Now, if you have outstanding parking tickets with the city and things like that, and you know you owe $7,000, they took your car, go to get a Chapter 13. Pay on it. You'll save your car, and you'll save little things that you do have so you can move forward. Now, it's not a bad thing, it's just time consuming. Me, I cut the time consuming in half, save your credit, and you're still able to move forward.
I relinquish the floor. I'm done. You know, I can ask so many other questions.
So I would like to go back to the point that you made about being educated on investing.
Correct.
One of my family members at the beginning of the pandemic talked to her daughter and told her, hey, this company Zoom looks like it could be a good place to put some money.
Wow.
Put some money into Zoom stock.
Right, yeah.
And she didn't think it was a good idea, so she didn't do it. So now, of course, the heartache is there.
Yeah, because I was doing myself and Zoom skyrocketed. I was like, wow, but people don't know.
Yeah, so that's I just brought that up. Point the importance of doing the education because no one knew who Zoom was prior to.
Correct. And they was around. They was around, but
they were around. Right.
Yeah,
they were.
Right.
Yeah. So some of those startups could be good investments too, right?
Correct. Yeah. A lot of startups could be good investments. It's just finding the history, knowing who backing it, and a lot of things is research. We have to research. I think sometimes we find ourselves in so much of a being lazy and just want everything handed and given to us. Mm-hmm. You get information, take that information, do your own due diligence and research to find out what's going on with that company, how much money is being invested in that company, what's the long-term and short-term goals of that company to know if it's worth me investing $100, $500, $1,000. If it don't look good from your point of view, even if you have a mentor, they will give you tips on great companies. But still, even though that they're giving you those tips, research it for yourself so you'll know, like, okay, I feel good to invest in this company, or I feel good to invest in that company. So you have to research. Stop being lazy, read, research, and just educate yourself. It'll pay off in the long run.
Do we have time for questions from folks watching? I know Sandra, Iris, our friend Sandra is here in and out of the room. So hello to her if she's got any questions, and other people, names I recognize, hello. But do we have time for questions if folks have?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Lady D, you had an interesting health journey as well.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is what my focus is, like she was talking about, my why that is what she pointed out is my why, is because my family all takes medicine for everything. I don't take medicine for anything, and that's my goal to not to take medicine for anything. So that is my why. So when I feel like I'm getting to be a little bit, too much, then I need to cut down on something. But that is my why, because I don't want to take blood pressure pills. I don't want to, have high blood pressure. I don't want to. I don't want to have high sugar and all that kind of stuff. So that is my why. So that is interesting for me. And I think it's because a lot of it, part of it is because of my body type here. I know I've never been a skinny person. I think I never will be. But
and that's okay.
Right.
I don't want to be skinny. I know what looks good for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not trying to be like somebody else. But I do have a why, so I do know how to stay within my limits. And the other thing I just had was about she said about the app Stash. I use that. I started out with that real low. It's something that I can use to try to start saving money, and I use it. And started out with just taking like $5 every week and putting it in there. And I started out with one stock, and now I think I built it up to I have like 7 stocks in there.
Wow.
So I use that. So I tell people about it all the time.
Right.
Yep.
Did you tell them about your criteria about being sick in your house? Did you tell them about that?
About who being sick in my house?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, you only get one day to be sick in here.
That thing messed me up.
Real and just you got to get up and keep it moving.
That thing was funny to me. That thing was funny to me. She said, in this house, you only have one day to be sick, and that the next day you up and back out and you working. What if you got the flu? One day to be sick.
You got one day to get your life together.
Sweat it out. Sweat it out.
We got stuff to do around here. No sitting around in no bed. No. No.
Any more questions? I'm not the host.
I haven't seen any questions come in on Facebook.
Listen, me, Lady D, and Reggie, we gonna chat about here. Back on you, Tyra, and your guests, but we want to just come in here and just be just part of the conversation right quick. We're gonna get out and let you three continue to talk, and we're gonna be out of here.
Thanks,
good thing, guys.
See you.
So, Iris and Chi-Chi, if you've got one word of advice, each of you, to leave folks with to, just encourage them on the challenges that they're all facing. When we talked about at the very beginning of the show, it's a crazy time and there are a lot of distractions, and people are facing things that they've never had to consider before, having to ask for help that they never thought they would need help with, things that they would never thought that they would have needed help with. And encourage folks today before we leave. Iris, I'm going to go with you first.
Okay. Well, what I would just say was stay with the 3 W's: your why, your what, and don't even focus so much on the who. I'm going to say the first 2. Your why. Your why is so important. And your what. What are you going to commit to you to do? You're important. Like they tell you on an airplane, hey, if that plane is going down, you mask up first before you can help somebody else. If you're depleted and you're not taking the time for you to do what you need to do for you, you don't have anything to give out to anyone else. So take the time you need for you. Do what you need to do spiritually, mentally, and physically, and financially, so you could be where you need to be. So that why is going to push you, and then what you commit to yourself to do. If you start mastering those 2 things, you'll be good.
Yeah, when I spoke with you, Chi-Chi, we talked about, and fitness ties into having what you need so that you can move around in the world the way you want to. What are your words of advice?
Never make financial decisions with your emotions. A lot of times we make all decisions with emotions, the way we feel. I feel like I need a car. I feel like I need a home. I feel like I need this. But always make good, healthy financial decisions. Right now, we're dealing with the pandemic and everything. But every step and decision you make is to build generational wealth and pass things down to our kids. We went through the phase of not having that and not building wealth, but now is really the time to build wealth, start businesses, and pass those businesses down to our kids, they need it. And we need to change the economy and the way the world operates by passing businesses down instead of passing debt down. All our lives, our parents passed us debt down. Now we trying to break the generational curse of debt and don't realize our steps right now, financial decisions, can help us build generational wealth so our kids can be all right and their kids can be all right, and passing the education down as well.
Yeah.
That's all great advice. Thank you to you both. And we'll let folks know in the links, associated with this broadcast where people can find you all again. Thank you, Iris.
Thank you, Tyra.
Thank you, everyone who watched today. We'll see you again next month for the next Chat and Chill, the exclusive. If there's something that you think is an interesting topic that you want to talk about, let us know, and we'll hunt the people down to answer your questions and address the things that everyone is talking about. Be safe, be careful, have a great new year.